Recording.
Put me down. Are you guys ready? Sit. The train's recording. Do not.
I said turn them back.
My name is Joy Overton, and my speech today will be about healthcare reform for young adults. Consider a young adult approaching age 22 who is a recent college graduate and is currently enrolled through his or her mother's employer-based health coverage. However, the parents recently received notification that their young adult's coverage will soon terminate because of his or her upcoming birthday. He or she may currently be working as an intern or working part-time at a company that does not offer the young adult health care coverage because of his or her employment status. Currently, most parents will not have to worry about this happening, at least not until their child's 26th birthday, due to the recent signing of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. Even though Republicans believe that the health care reform will cause the country to suffer, all parents who currently have employer-based health coverage can have coverage for their young adult until after his or her 26th birthday without causing much of an expense for employers and insurance companies. Before the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act was signed, young adults could not continue coverage on his or her parents' health coverage beyond a certain age limit. Now, under the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, workplace and retiree health insurance plan parents are allowed to continue employee-based health coverage on a tax-free basis until a young adult is 26. According to an analysis by the Department of Treasury, Labor, and Health and Human Services, it is estimated that in 2010 there are approximately 3.1 million young adults between the ages of 19 and 25 who are uninsured. With the Affordable Care Act in place, this will cut the numbers of uninsured adults. In order for young adults to be dependent on their parents' employer-based insurance, he or she are not required to be a dependent on their parents' taxes, enrolled in college, and he or she can also be married. The premium amount the parent would be required to pay for a young adult will be the same amount it will be to cost to add a minor child. Parents will be allowed to continue coverage on the young adult on his or her health care plan if they are already covered. They will also be allowed to add the young adult to his or her coverage if he or she were previously dropped due to age limit. Unless the young adult adult's employers offers a health insurance plan, the parent cannot or will not be required to add the young adult to his or her employer-based health care plan. An employer who currently offers dependent health care coverage is required by law to incorporate the extension to the terms to the existing coverage within 6 months after the Affordable Care Act was signed. If an employer currently does not offer dependent health care coverage, they do not have to do so at this time. However, in the future, they will be required to incorporate the terms in their agreements. Also, employers cannot force an employee to pay an increased premium amount different from what the existing cost is for the parent to add a dependent child. The employers will no longer have to remove a young adult and then re-enroll him or her if the previous age limit clause is approached before the mandatory date of September 2010. The employer who contributes to a portion of the employee's health coverage premiums can exclude that amount for income tax purposes. To cut the administrative costs to insurers, Kathleen Silbus, Secretary of Health and Human Services, encouraged employers to implement the changes early to avoid a gap in coverage for young adults. Insurance companies cannot exclude a young adult for possessing pre-existing conditions, nor can the insurer increase the cost to cover him or her. The insurance companies will face more of an operational cost than an administrative cost. However, they will receive incentives from the government to offset the costs associated with the Affordable Health Care Act. Despite the benefits of these young adults covered on health insurance, all Republicans voted against the bill, as well as 34 Democrats. They do believe that something needs to be done with the healthcare system, but believe that the healthcare reform is not the answer. According to Republicans, healthcare reform is intended to lower premium costs and reduce the deficit. Instead, it will have the opposite effect. They state that the country will suffer immediately. Most parents worry about their children being covered on insurance as they transition from one phase of being dependent to the next phase of becoming independent. In children's dependency stage, it is the responsibility of parents to make sure he or she obtains the same, if not better, health care coverage as their parents. Even though most young adults in the age group of 19 through 29 are considered healthy, they can acquire a chronic illness such as cancer or diabetes. If they do not receive if they do not have health care coverage, the expense of this will inevitably fall on the parents, as they can cause unforeseen financial hardship for both the parent and the young adult. Most parents believe that the Affordable Care Act, as it relates to young adults, will be beneficial to all Americans. A quote by A.J. Reb Matari states, "So many people spend their health gaining wealth and then spend their wealth to regain their health. So why not invest in the health of our young adults now instead of investing of the wealth of their parents later?" Do you all have any questions? Did you read over the handouts?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Do you guys have any questions about healthcare reform for young adults?
How can you predict that in 2014 that these acts will be established?
How can we predict in 2014? We have people doing statistics on it. The government, the handout is from a website from the government.
And if
So they're predicting that it's going to help young adults, so it's already lowered the cost for insurance for
and
Why
if
does it
these-
say the law?
the who?
The law. The title. Hey, be quiet.
Because it's the law now. Parents can continue to keep their kids on the coverage until they're 26. At first, it wasn't like that. The age was, I think, probably 21 or 18 or something like that. So now we can keep you guys covered so that y'all won't have to worry about it, because for the most part, young kids don't have dependable jobs or even jobs that offer health care insurance. Guys have any more questions?
I think that would be all for tonight.
Okay. Thank you
How
for
about-
listening. Oh, you got another question?
You can get help online.
Yeah, you can get extra information online. Thank you for listening to my speech. Clap your hands. So ain't put the thing right there so you can walk past. Thank you guys.
I don't give any extra questions. Just so you swore.